In this video, I'll speak from a user's perspective about MagicOS 10 as I see it, sharing its pros and where it could still improve. First up is the lock screen. MagicOS has added a lot of lock screen styles this year, which I think are quite nice and look good. There are many types of clocks: standard, stretched, staggered display, poster style, and column style. They include both the time and date. There's a magnetic display style, and you can adjust the clock's position however you like. It adapts extremely well to different types of wallpapers. When the in-screen fingerprint is enabled, the clock gets raised up. If we drag the clock down to the bottom, it will alert you that the clock needs to make room. Regarding details, for example, with this specific lock screen style, I'm not sure if you can spot the issue. If you zoom in, you can see that in the gradient transition area, there is color band. If you switch to another color, the banding still appears, so this needs some optimization. In some older lock screen styles, like this one, the clock's readability is poor, and adjusting the color doesn't help. This is because MagicOS 10 removed solid colors, leaving only the glass texture option. So when we set light-colored wallpapers, it's not very legible. In these cases, solid colors or frosted glass should be used. Color selection is also quite limited, offering only specific preset colors. A few specific presets are too limiting. They could try adding HSL curves or a color wheel to let users choose their own colors. The shortcut icons at the bottom have fine textures, but they don't match well with some legacy lock screens, resulting in this very strange rendering effect. In terms of design consistency, the lock screen, notification center, control center, desktop folders, the -1 screen, and widgets all adopt the newest translucent design language. There are even lighting effects on the edges of the cards. Currently, its level of polish is better than the other two systems that use glass textures. In the settings, we can also adjust the level of transparency. These three images show the lowest transparency. If I turn the value up, it looks like a layer of slightly foggy glass. I personally like it a lot. Opening the control center, the background glows when we tap an icon. When sliding the volume bar, the light moves up and down following where my finger touches. If my finger slides on the right side of the volume bar, the light effect on the right intensifies. If I slide on the left, the light on the left intensifies. Then there's the music card. Wherever I tap, it glows, accompanied by a morphing effect. I can only describe it as exquisite. To those watching, if you haven't used an Honor system in the past, seeing this might give you a different perspective on MagicOS. Regarding details, the buttons under the multitasking view haven't been updated to the latest texture yet. The three buttons at the bottom of the editing interface have been updated with the new texture, but they lack the edge lighting effect, so that needs optimization. The blur effect on desktop widgets is dynamic rendering when we swipe, as you can see, so no issues there. However, when I open the -1 screen and the desktop icons and widgets zoom out, it stops being dynamic rendering. Or if I open multitasking and swipe up, you can see it's not dynamic rendering. When browsing TikTok and opening the sidebar, the rendering there isn't dynamic, it's static. Opening the notification center and control center, there are no issues here. It's all dynamic rendering. Although there are small issues, the flaws don't overshadow the merits. MagicOS gives me a great visual impression. Next, let's look at the home screen. The gaps, sizes, and layout of Honor's icons and widgets are handled very well. It makes the whole desktop look full and harmonious. As long as you're willing to organize it, the Honor desktop can look extremely attractive. Also, the status bar can hide icons, and the desktop, sidebar, and control center can all hide names, making the phone interface look cleaner. However, there is a small issue. I used icons from a different theme here, but when I swipe right to the -1 screen, it still shows the default theme icons. They aren't unified. Opening the control center, the icons there didn't change to match the desktop icons. With the development of ad tech, some icons now feature small ads. Honor hasn't redropped them to eliminate these small ads. It looks a bit messy on the desktop. Currently, the only way to solve this is by applying third-party theme icons. Honor has also done a great job with app closing animations. For example, this app's closing animation tracks your finger proactively. If I slide up without letting go, it draws a curve from the left, and depending on the force of the slide, it generates different dynamic trajectories. Regarding folders, there are many dimensions: 1x3, 1x4, 2x3, 2x4, it has them all. This makes desktop customization easy, which is a big plus. However, if I want to put 3 icons in a 1x2 folder, the last icon cannot be opened directly, unlike in other systems where 3 icons in a 1x2 folder are all directly accessible. This part could use some optimization. Next, let's look at the Magic Capsule. When downloading an app, it shows up on the capsule, which is fine, but my motive for downloading an app is definitely to use it, so the button here should be open, not view. I've already already downloaded it, why would I want to go to the store to view it? They could take a cue from other systems here, which all open it directly. Face recognition is now integrated into the island too, but it looks a bit strange after unlocking. It creates a visually unbalanced sensation. I personally suggest it should shrink back after unlocking, just like on Apple. A lock icon means locked, no lock means it's unlocked. The immersive effect of the display is good, and it stays on the island when expanded. If there are multiple tasks, they can be opened together. In this regard, it actually integrates the strengths of two other systems. The display effect is immersive, and it supports opening multiple tasks. Let's look at the Magic Capsule's animation again. Smoothness is not an issue. However, the animation of sliding into the capsule isn't eye-catching enough. The animation when clicking to expand is fine. It's a bottom stretch, which feels intuitive. When opening multitasking, the capsule flashes and disappears along with the status bar. There is no shrinking animation. When we open an application, the Magic Capsule suddenly appears and then shrinks back, which seems logically off. This issue has existed since the Magic Capsule was first introduced in MagicOS 8. 2 years have passed and it's still there, so Honor users might want to give feedback on this. I hope next year's MagicOS 11 will improve the motion effects of the capsule. They could take a reference from Origin OS here. Its motion effects are done very well. The animation for the search from home screen feature is very smooth. In fact, when I first used MagicOS 7 a few years ago, it was already like this. Absolutely no dropped frames. You have to realize that there was a system that actually cut this feature because they couldn't make a smooth swipe-up search animation. Plus, it's not a background running type, so it doesn't appear in the multitasking. Next, let's talk about the system's power management capabilities. If you watch a lot of reviews, you'll see a recurring trend in the annual battery life rankings. Honor phones usually achieve better battery life results with lower battery capacities. This is irrefutable from the power management capabilities Honor has endowed MagicOS with. Here are devices from 3 different systems, all equipped with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. You can see that the other 2 devices are drawing 1.8 watts, but MagicOS 10 manages 1.6 watts, and it achieves it at a higher brightness of 4 nits. The reason I didn't use 2 nits like the other 2 is that under a full-screen white background, its minimum brightness is 4 nits. The AI button has 3 operations: short press, double click, and long press. There are 5 customizable functions: camera, yo-yo video call, yo-yo agent, yo-yo vision, and yo-yo memory. I've set the short press to yo-yo memory. In any interface, a short press of the AI key will record it. It's just like AI Writer in ColorOS. For example, if you receive a message saying a meeting is at such and such time, we just need to short press the AI key and this event gets recorded. Opening yo-yo memory, we can see the key information: meeting at 1 p.m. on December 10th in the first floor conference room. Then we click on the recommended action and we can quickly add it to the schedule. It's very convenient. I suggest adding another function here: direct app access. Like in Origin OS, I can use a shortcut key to bring up the payment code with 1 click, which would be a bit more convenient for daily use. Of course, Honor defines this button as an AI key, not a generic shortcut key. So aside from the camera, the functions currently assigned to it are all AI related. I can understand that, but I still hope it will get some additional functions in the future. Regarding interconnectivity, in the past, Honor could only quickly share files with Huawei products, but this year, Honor is more open, allowing direct sharing with products from other brands like Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, and Apple. Through Honor's Super Workstation, you can also establish connections with iOS, iPadOS, macOS, and Windows. This was my biggest complaint last year, that it couldn't connect with other brands, but this year, that problem is gone. This feature is also very useful. If you leave the phone to the side and aren't looking at it, the screen stays black. Turn your head to look at it, the always-on display turns on. Turn your head away, wait for a few seconds, and the screen turns black again. In daily use, this helps us save power and extend battery life. In my opinion, this year has seen the biggest changes for Honor. To put it bluntly, the old Honor was traditional, closed off, and living in its own world. But this year, I can sense its openness and a greater willingness to communicate with users. If they can optimize the animations and the rendering and display effects of certain interfaces in the future, the experience will be even better. That's all for this video. See you next time.